It is your favorite auditor, Audit Them, the one who encourages you to audit them. Hello, all. We are going to be reviewing Judicial Canons. If you could please confirm with me that you guys do hear the audio clear before we go ahead and continue here. Anyhow, this is from the Supreme Court of the State of Illinois. So, judicial canons are like rules, administrative, for the judges. Illinois Supreme Court Rule 63 and administrative order relating to thereto amended as follows. Amended Rule 63, Canon. Hey, Tommy, thank you. A judge should perform the duties of judicial office impartially and diligently. The judicial duties of a judge take precedence over all the judge's other activities. The judge's judicial duties include all the duties of the judge's office prescribed by law. In the performance of these duties, the following standards apply. A. Adjudication responsibilities. Number 1. A judge should be faithful to the law and maintain professional competence in it. A judge should be unswayed by partisan interests, public clamor, or fear of criticism. Number 2, a judge should maintain order and decorum in proceedings before the judge. Number 3, a judge should be patient, dignified, and courteous to litigants, jurors, witness, lawyers, and other with whom the judge deals in official capacity, and should require similar conduct of lawyers and staff, court officials, and other subjects to the judge's direction and control. Number 4, a judge shall accord to each person who has legal interest in a proceeding or that person's lawyer the right to be heard according to, you see what it says here. Number 4 is saying a judge shall afford to every person who has legal interest in a proceeding or that person's lawyer the right to be heard according to law. A judge may make reasonable efforts consistent with the law and the court rules to facilitate the ability of self-represented litigants to be fairly heard. That's a good one. Number 5, a judge shall not initiate, permit, or consider ex parte communication, or consider other communications made to the judge outside the presence of the parties concerning a pending or impending proceeding, except that A, where circumstances require ex parte communications for scheduling, administrative purposes, or emergencies that do not deal with substantive matters or issues on the merits are authorized, provided the judge reasonably believes that the party will not gain a procedural or tactical advantage as a result of an ex parte communication. And number 2, the judge makes provision promptly to notify all parties of the substance of the ex parte communication and allows an opportunity to respond. B, a judge may consult with court personnel whose function is to aid the judge in carrying out the judge's adjudicative responsibilities or with other judges. C, a judge may, with the consent of the parties, confer separately with the parties and their lawyers in an effort to mediate or settle matters pending before the judge. D, a judge may initiate or consider an ex parte communication when expressly authorized by law to do so. 6, a judge shall devote full time to his or her judicial duties and should dispose promptly of the business of the court, and should dispose promptly of the business of the court, right? Number 7, a judge should abstain from public comments about a pending or impending proceeding in any court, and should require similar abstention of the part of the court personnel subject to the judge's direction and control. This paragraph does not prohibit judges from making public statements in the course of their official duties or from explaining for public information the procedures of the court. Number 8, proceedings in court should be conducted with fitting dignity, decorum, and without distraction. The taking of photographs in the courtroom during sessions of court or recess between proceedings and the broadcast of television or court proceedings is permitted only to the extent authorized by order of the Supreme Court. Oh, wow. The rule is not permitted. The rule is intended to prohibit local circuit courts from using security cameras to monitor their facilities. They scratched this out. For purposes of this rule, the use of the term photographs, broadcasts, and television includes the audio and or transmissions or recordings made by telephones, personal data assistants, laptop computers, and other wired or wireless data transmission and recording devices. Number 9. So you see here they're saying from the Supreme Court. So number 9, a judge shall perform judicial duties without bias or prejudice. That's a good one. A judge shall perform judicial duties without bias or prejudice. A judge shall not, in the performance of judicial duties, by words or conduct, manifest bias or prejudice, including but not limited to bias or prejudice based upon race, sex, religion, national origin, disability, age, sexual orientation, or social economic status, and shall not permit staff, court officials, and others subject to the judge's direction and control to do so. Number 10, proceedings before a judge shall be conducted without any manifestation by words or conduct or prejudice based on race, sex, religion, national origin, disability, age, sex, orientation, or socio-economic status by parties, jurors, witness, counsel, or others. This section does not preclude legitimate advocacy when these or similar factors are issues in the proceedings. B. Administrative responsibilities. Number 1, a judge should diligently discharge the judge's administrative responsibilities, maintain professional competence in judicial administration, and facilitate the performance of the administrative responsibilities or of other judges and court officials. Number 2, a judge should require staff, court officials, and other subject to the judge's direction and control to observe the standards of fidelity and diligence that apply to the judge. 3A. A judge having knowledge of a violation of these canons on the part of a judge or violation of Rule 8.4 of the Rules of Professional Conduct on a part of a lawyer shall take or initiate appropriate disciplinary measures. B. Acts of FOIA, he said FOIA ninja. B. Acts of a judge in mentoring a new judge pursuant to MR 14618 Administrative Order of February 1998, amended in 2000, and in the discharge of this disciplinary responsibilities required or permitted by Canon 3 of the Rules of Professional Conduct are part of the judge's judicial duties shall be absolutely privileged. C. Except as otherwise required by Supreme Court rules, information pertaining to new judges' performance which is obtained by the mentor in the course of formal mentoring relationship shall be held in confidence by the mentor. Number 4, a judge should not make unnecessary appointments. A judge should exercise the power of appointment on the basis of merit, avoiding nepotism and favoritism. A judge should not approve compensation of appointees beyond their fair value of services rendered. Number 5, a judge should refrain from casting a vote for the appointment or reappointment to the office of associate judge of the judge's spouse or any other person known by the judge to be within the third degree of relationship to the judge or judge's spouse or the spouse of such a person. Disqualification under Section C. Number 1, a judge shall disqualify himself or herself in a proceeding in which the judge's impartiality might reasonably be questioned, including but not limited to instances where A. the judge has personal bias or prejudice concerning a party or party's lawyer, or personal knowledge of disputed evidentiary facts concerning the proceedings. B. the judge served as a lawyer in the matter in controversy, or a lawyer with whom the judge previously practiced law served during such association as a lawyer concerning the matter, or the judge has been a material witness concerning it. C. the judge was, within the preceding 3 years, associated in the private practice of law with any law firm or lawyer currently representing any party in controversy, provided that referral of cases when no monetary interest was retained shall not be deemed an association within the meaning of this subparagraph, or for a period of 7 years, the last date on which the judge represented any party to the controversy while the judge was an attorney engaged in the private practice of law. D. the judge knows that he or she individually or as a fiduciary or of judge's spouse, parent, child, or whatever residing, or any other member of the judge's family residing in the judge's household, has an economic interest in the subject matter in controversy, or in a party to the proceeding, or has any other more than the minimis interest that could be substantially affected by the proceeding, or E. the judge or judge's spouse, or a person within the third degree of relationship to either of them, or spouse or such person, is the party. Number 1, is a party to the proceeding, or an officer, director, or trustee of a party. 2, is acting as a lawyer in the proceeding. Yeah, Bill, I agree with you. Number 3, is known by the judge to have a more than de minimis interest that could be substantially affected by the proceedings, or is that the judge's knowledge likely to be material witness in the proceedings. Number 2, a judge shall keep informed about the judge's personal and fiduciary economic interest and make a reasonable effort to keep informed about the personal economic interest of the judge's spouse and minor children residing in the judge's household. D. Remittal of disqualification. A judge disqualified by the term of Section 3C may disclose on the record that basis of the judge's disqualification, and may ask the parties and their lawyers to consider, out of the presence of the judge, whether to waive the disqualification. if the following disclosure of any basis for disqualification other than personal bias or prejudice concerning a party, the parties and lawyers without participation by the judge all agree that the judge should not be disqualified and that the judge is then willing to participate. The judge may participate in the proceeding. The arrangement shall be incorporated in the record on the proceeding. Of the proceeding. Alrighty. Committee commentary. The provisions of canon relate to a judicial performance of adjudicative responsibilities, judicial performance of administrative responsibilities, and the circumstances and procedure for judicial disqualification. Alrighty. So let's see here. Paragraph 4 differs, it modifies. Alrighty, let's skip over these modifications. Well, really that okay, yeah, this is giving us the dates when some of these were enacted. But anyhow, this is what we were focusing on here. Disqualification of a judge. Disqualification of a judge. So let's go back here under 3C. Under 3C, let's read disqualification one more time. To your point here, Bill, a judge shall disqualify himself or herself in a proceeding in which the judge impartially might reasonably be questioned, including but not limited to instances where, let's hold off on that too, where the judge's impartiality might reasonably be questioned, right? Including but not limited to instances where A, the judge has personal bias. There it is right there by itself. The judge has personal bias. Or prejudice concerning a party. That's another one by itself. Okay, or a party's lawyer or personal knowledge of disputed evidentiary facts concerning the proceedings. So yeah, well, with that being said, we just need to narrow down and we need to focus in. With that being said, yeah, this was a real quick one, quick scream here. And we just wanted to knock it out real quick. A little more understanding here for judicial canons, the requirements of judges to abide by, you know, the administrative order of the Supreme Court here, Rule 63 in the state of Illinois. And this should be similar to your state. If you look into it, look up the judicial canons, disqualification of judges or adjudicative responsibilities of judges. Well, with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for coming in. Like I said, I do have the video I released today. That video was from about 2 weeks ago. I already received all the FOIAs that I submitted, the body cams and everything. So if you're interested in signing up with Auditor Binder, Auditor Shield, you will get your body cameras footage. Without that being said, be on the lookout. I will be releasing some new stuff real soon. So thank you guys for tuning in. Until the next time, the one who encourages you to audit them.